Hey guys, what's going on? Thank you so much for watching today. Welcome back to Winfil Zoo, our brand new franchise zoo project, and it's so small. Look at how little. I hope you guys enjoyed episode 1. This is, of course, episode 2. I did, as I stated in the last episode, move some things around in between recordings. So I moved our exhibit from about out here to in here. If we go to the heat map, let me bring up the menu here. We should be able to see I'm a lot closer to this kind of inner circle bubble here so that I don't actually have to have a power generator, which is nice, but also means that the guests are within walking distance of everything, because I was noticing that last time I don't think they were quite reaching all the way out there. They were getting tired. Their little legs couldn't handle it. So we've scooched everything in, which is nice. I think is going to give us a little bit easier of a start. We have some notifications to go over before we get too far into this. We need a vet surgery, we need a research center, and we don't have a security guard. Okay, all things I think we can handle, but first, presents. Claim rewards. Fantastic. Sounds good to me. Now, can you go away? Thank you. The first thing I want to do is actually put down some exhibits, and I don't actually know which exhibit animals I want to get, so I'll have to, not spiders, I'll have to figure that out. Ooh, fire salamander, the new one. Maybe we should do that one. Well, let's put them down first. Let's see here, facilities and small animal exhibits. And I kind of want to put them right here, and that way they can be on the back side of our little plaza building, I think. Let's see if we can't line this up just a wee bit better so this is nice and straight. Beautiful. So we can put one maybe there and another one right next to it, I guess, or maybe one away like that, and then we'll delete some of these paths in between because I don't necessarily want them entering from all sides. Oh, that's a bummer. I don't like that happened. Let's see, can we fix that, like, without majorly destroying the path? Hey, excuse me, this please. Can we? Oh man, of course it's going to be a pain. It's the path system, right? We can't actually have it be easy to deal with. Let's deselect that and connect this back up with the correct color, please. Really? We're going to connect wonky. Okay, of course we are. Maybe because of that. And beautiful, fixed. Okay, so now we have those two things there. Let's go ahead and get our little, I think fire salamander is a good idea. They probably don't like this climate too much, but it's okay. They're in little terrariums. It's not going to be a problem. We'll get a male and a female. It's our only two options. But they're, like I said, they're in a terrarium. We are going to keep their exhibit at the right temperature. So let's get them in there and let's actually see if they are at the right temperature and everything. Hey, they're pretty good to go. Sweet. Okay. We do need a research center though, because we don't know anything about the reindeer. So where am I going here? Facilities and staff facilities and research center, and right here let's just go ahead and add it on to our little block of, maybe we'll add it over here because I feel like the path will connect nicer over there for some reason. I'm probably wrong, but let's see. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so there goes that. And then we can open up our research center here, and we don't have a veterinarian. That's our first problem. Well, let's get a security guard because it was telling us that as well, even though I don't truly feel like we need one, but I guess good to have. And then we have one vet. Perfect. We don't actually need, I'm gonna do fire salamander first. What was I gonna say? We don't actually need, work zones just yet because we are teeny tiny. Let's decide on what our next little guys will be. Let's just kind of scroll through here and see if we see anything enticing. Ooh, giant beetle. I really honestly haven't played around too much with these guys other than what you saw in Tolly Zoo. Giant snail! But I wanted to get some of these guys in just for sake of money reasons, right? So hopefully they'll have babies and we could sell the babies and make a little bit of money. An iguana, no. I mean, none of these are really gonna be like alpine animals. There's like tropical and stuff like that. Let's make sure we're not searching for anything. Maybe we do some snails because we didn't have snails in the last zoo. So yeah, so let's do, oh, you're terrible, but, oh, are you any better? Ah, you're better. Great. Female and male. Let's go ahead and get you guys into this one there. So now we have fire salamanders, oh good night, and snails. Let's see, can we actually see any of these guys? It's gonna be a little hard in the dark. Oh, look how cool their terrarium looks though. Very cool. I don't see any fire salamanders though. Where are they? I was hoping one of them would be kind of hanging out right in the light right here, but I guess, oh, is there one? Right there? It's like right there. Wow, they're tiny. They're really tiny. I bet the snails are tiny too. Let's see, can we actually see any of these guys? Is that one right there? Nope, that's a leaf. I don't see the snails. Oh well, we'll find them later. They're there somewhere, we know they are. Are they at the right temperature though? Let's see, they are not. Let's raise this up a bit. Maybe a little bit more, and then the humidity needs to come down. There we go. Not that much. Stop, stop, stop. There we go. Maybe a little bit more on that one. A little more. There we go. Perfect. Nice and happy. We don't have anything as far as layout or anything like that yet, but that is good. Did I not change? I thought I changed the... This is to 5 o'clock. Do we want to go even earlier? Like that? Because I thought... Oh, maybe that's the problem. This needs... Yeah, that's the problem. So this is going to be 8 o'clock. Oops. 8 o'clock. And this will be 5 o'clock. 8 to 5 are our zoo hours. That way we have kind of consistent light, which is good. Okay. So... what I want to do is I want to jump into a time lapse because I want to get some stuff built. So we're doing okay-ish on money, okay-ish, and that could change in a heartbeat, of course. So I really want to, oh, we have presents. I really want to be conscious of that. But I do want to get a little bit of decorating done. And I guess I should have showed you what I did with the Reindeer Habitat. I built a little back wall back here, kind of continued it over. And then I did this whole front area as well. So we have this nice little fence barrier, which I might actually put a beam in the middle of that, just because I feel like it needs it. But then this little fence too, so it's kind of like a double fence, right? And then these rocks are meant to kind of keep them back. I mean, realistically, this would probably dip a little bit lower, but I'm okay with it for now. We need to put a like a water area, like a little pond pool thing eventually, because I don't really like using the water dish or bowl. Maybe we'll change it out for the trough or something. But yeah, a lot more detailing on this habitat, of course. We also got a little baby in between while I was waiting for a thumbnail, because oh my gosh, getting a thumbnail in this climate when it's raining and snowing every 4 seconds was a bit difficult, so a lot of time did pass while I was trying to do that. So we got ourselves our first little baby of the zoo. If you guys want to name, ooh, him, her, him, I forget what it was. Yeah, if you want to name him, change it from Bjorn to whatever else we want to change it to, leave those in the comments below and I will pick one. But yeah, anyway, I will go ahead and jump into a time lapse and we'll get started. So I'll see you in a minute. So time-lapse time. It's been a while since I have done a time-lapse in franchise and done a voiceover for it. Not a while since I've done a voiceover and stuff in general, but I feel like the last few episodes of Tolly Zoo were just kind of straight management, straight, 30, 40 minutes of gameplay with no time-lapse. So I found it very important, or thought that it would be very important, for me to include a time-lapse in this second episode of Winfil, because I wanted to kind of get the groundwork started for what the park is going to look like. So with this being a taiga, kind of colder alpine zoo, I really wanted to utilize lots of wood and lots of stone. So I am using the brand new pieces from the Europe pack that just came out, these stone wall pieces. I absolutely love, probably one of my favorite things that has come with that pack. But what I did do is I kind of let the research run for a little bit before I started building. I totally forgot that in franchise I do have to research it. It was not unlocked when I started building, and I really wanted to use these rock wall pieces, and I didn't want to have to go switch them out afterwards. So I did let the game play just a little bit, but it did allow us to accumulate a little bit more money as well, which is good, because I am very worried, especially in the start of a new zoo, of running out of money. We are playing on hard mode, so it is something that I have to remind myself. It's been a little while since I've had to think about money in a franchise zoo, since Tolly Zoo was doing so well. So do keep on me. Let me know down below if you feel like I am forgetting that. But essentially I'm working off of a reference picture, and I don't really even know what the reference picture is of or where it's from. But it's of this little plaza, so you enter and then you get into this little plaza and there's kind of surrounding buildings. I have modified it just a bit, but this kind of overhang area, entrance area, is pretty much from the reference picture. Just a little bit of styling is different between what I built and the reference picture. I am being conscious of everything except for this middle overhang area, making sure that the roofs are pitched roofs and not a lot of flat roofs. In an area that would get a lot of snow, I believe it's more important to have pitched roofs so the snow doesn't pile up on top of the flat surfaces and kind of cause structural damage, I guess. I live in San Diego. If you guys are not new to the channel, you will know. I have never lived in an area that snows. I have been to the snow as far as like vacations and stuff like that, but I am not used to anywhere that has any sort of real weather. So I'm pretty sure, because I did kind of look it up beforehand, but I'm pretty sure that in places that snow, they do like to have pitched roofs. That way the snow, like I said, doesn't pile up. So that's kind of what I'm going with. I'm trying to keep those things in mind. I'm trying to channel my inner, I don't know, person that lives in a cold area where it snows. Don't think there's actually a name for that kind of person, but anyway, somebody that's not me, somebody that's way more familiar in living in kind of an alpine or a taiga type setting. This build in total, just the kind of start of this entrance area, really didn't take me all that long. I really wanted to make sure that we got all of our facilities covered and everything kind of just off on the right foot. I didn't want to leave it for too long because I wanted to start nailing down like a better layout. I do much better when there's already builds in place in my projects where I can just kind of build off and make them cohesively fit around one another, but a big blank open map is super daunting for me. So this last episode and this episode, that's kind of what I'm trying to deal with, is make sure that we get a good starting layout. As you can see, I have used much wider paths, so I'm really hoping to avoid a lot of the congestion. We do end up adding our second animal, as I'm sure you are well aware of because I'm using it as the thumbnail, but we add the little Arctic foxes, which are absolutely adorable, but where I decide to put them, I am a little worried that I am already causing a little bit of a traffic jam. So we may potentially, if you see where the exhibit animals are right now, the snail and the fire salamander, I may end up putting a little path off to the other side of those guys, just to give guests a couple different options of where to go, because right now we just have the one little place to get out of the plaza and into the actual, well, I guess not into the actual zoo, but you know, where the exhibits and animals actually start. So I may have to end up doing that. just because I'm afraid of everything bottlenecking right up in that one path, even though I think I'm using 8-meter paths. I almost said 8mm paths. That would be tiny. No, 8-meter paths is what I think I'm using in the plaza area. So hopefully it won't be a problem, but let me know what you guys think. I did want to add a couple little details to these buildings, so I'm adding a couple little windows and just kind of rotating them so that they are a little more interesting than they would be by themselves alone. Trying to think about, you know, the fact that the building should have windows so that it's not just a completely enclosed inside area, right? We want to be able to see to the outside. So I wanted to lay out a couple different paths on either side just to kind of give myself an idea where I want the zoo to be headed, but we are pretty much done on the little entrance part that I worked on. Now we're moving on to the Arctic fox. Now, unfortunately, you'll find out after the time lapse as well, the Arctic fox habitat does end up being a little small, which I am super disappointed in because I thought it was massive to begin with, and I really wanted it to be kind of one of those small habitats right when you enter the zoo, you know, one of the not so big ticket animals kind of thing. But I'm gonna have to make the habitat bigger. I don't do it in this episode. We're gonna have to do it next episode because at the end of this episode we're already getting protesters, which is not a great thing. But I'll have to make it a little bigger, so I'm a little disappointed in that, and that's just in-game, you know, needs and stuff for the animals. But that is the one thing I know already that I'm gonna have to change. And then as well as putting a roof on this habitat. Yes, I know, we built a habitat and we didn't make a roof on it, but it will come. I just told myself I would build for about an hour and I ended up building a little bit longer than that. And so I really needed to kind of cut this off. For those of you that don't know, while you're watching this, I am actually currently in Boston, meaning that when I'm recording this, it's before I've left for Boston. So I really have a finite amount of time where I don't have hours and hours to build and put together this episode. And I really wanted to make sure that you guys got an episode on 2 Fridays in a row, because we are aiming very hard to make Franchise Friday return so that each Friday we have a Winfil episode for you guys. So that's why I kind of gave myself a little bit of a limit on building today so that I could make sure to get this video out on time, or rather finished before I get on a plane tomorrow. I get on a plane tomorrow morning at like 6 a.m. so I got to be up at like 3 a.m. I'm very, very excited for my vacation, but I'm not very, very excited about getting up that early. So we'll see. It'll be a lots of coffee morning, even though I'm trying not to have coffee, but I think it will be a necessity. So anyways, by the time you're watching this, I'll be home in just a couple days, and then we will be back to regular content as well. But hopefully the videos that I have pre-recorded and got up on the channel have really bridged the gap and made it seem like I've not been gone at all. That was really my goal, is to kind of keep videos coming out for you guys. So hopefully I was successful in that. This little habitat, I really wasn't working off any reference picture at all. Just thinking that I wanted it to be kind of an old school aviary type habitat. Again, probably one of the older habitats in the zoo where it was built, you know, when the entrance was built. It's one of the things that has been there since the zoo opened. Maybe from time to time they do switch their animals. So they have Arctic foxes in here right now, but maybe before they had prairie dogs, and before they had, you know, one of those habitats that you kind of switch around in zoos where it could fit many different species of animals. But right now, you know, obviously they have the Arctic foxes. As I mentioned before, we are going to have to make it bigger. So I think I do mention it after the time lapse is over, but rotating it a little bit 90 degrees so that it's going to be able to be extended. You can see initially I wanted to make it really small, and I ended up not making it that small because that was only like 200 meters, I think, 200 square meters. So I ended up making it bigger initially anyway, and that's still not big enough. So we're gonna have to go back. But there's not too much more here. Just a couple more, actually not even a couple more minutes. There's like 30 seconds left of this time lapse. But I'm really just trying to make this look cohesive. You know, like I said, it was all built at the same time, same materials, stuff like that. But let's go ahead and jump back to real-time Savannah so she can get us our Arctic foxes, and we can see how cute they are. Put them in the habitat and let them run around. So let's jump back to it right now. All right, guys, what do you think? So I told myself I would sit down and build for an hour, but it ended up being a little over an hour. I got a little carried away, but we have the start of, as I'm sure I talked about in the time lapse, Arctic fox. So that's the first thing I want to get done. Well, okay, second thing, I want to check these as a first thing. Disease. Oh, okay, goodbye. I guess that's not a problem anymore. But we got some vet research. The reindeer, beautiful. Keep going on that. That's awesome. What is this? You need a vet surgery. We don't. We're fine. Nobody is sick yet. So let's go to our little animal trading and search for Arctic fox. Arctic fox. Arctic is one of the hardest words for me to spell. I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm a terrible speller anyway, but Arctic. Arctic is, I guess it's also hard for me to say too. Anyway, how many of these little guys? 6 males, 6 females. Fantastic. So we can get a couple of each. Let's start off with 3. Let's do this one because I love that it's not white, right? This is kind of their like summery coat. So we have you, and now we need a little female. How about you're kind of expensive. Yeah, let's go with you. You're from 2 different zoos. I am checking. I'm being good about it this time. In Winfil Zoo, we will not make silly mistakes like that, like we did in Tolly Zoo. Okay, so we got 3 of them, and I keep forgetting we have all these animals in our storage as well. We might have to start looking to see if we can add some of these guys and bring them over. But send to zoo. We want, hello, thank you. There definitely is a path destination. Oh, there definitely isn't a path destination. Just kidding. I always automatically just get annoyed at the game because I assume it's the game's fault, but I shouldn't. I shouldn't do that because that one was my fault. Okay, let's try this again. 1, 2, and 3 Arctic foxes. Inside here, I actually, believe it or not, I haven't played with these guys yet. I popped in when they first came out and just kind of looked at them, but I haven't built anything really for these guys yet. Look at them! Yay! Kind of look like a two-headed, there we go, two-headed one, but perfect. Go on into your new little habitat, and I guess I shouldn't let it play too fast because we do want to make sure you need more long grass, less short grass. Oh, okay. Rock and sand you could use as well. So that's the wrong button. Let's do some rock around your little watering hole, which we are going to finish. But I did want to make it like a built-in one, not necessarily just like a hole in the ground kind of thing. I wanted to make it look like it was a zoo. You know what I just thought of? Are these guys gonna have problems with guests getting stressed? I sure hope not. That would be, oh, they need less long grass. Oops, less long grass, more soil they could use. Okay, great. Then we could do that. We could do lots of soil because that kind of fits in with our overall theme anyway. There's still some long grass somewhere in this exhibit. Where? Oh, right here in the corner. There we go. Beautiful. And really, they're really low on space. I thought I measured it out. We could always rotate this around, like flip it so the building is over here. Actually, you know what? We might do that, because let me see. I won't do it right now because I don't want to upset the animals. But if we take this and we just rotate this 90 degrees this way, that actually might look a little better. We can situate it here, and then we can bring this building kind of over and out that way. That might give a little bit of separation from this building too. Okay, something to think about. So we might have to do that, but I am done building in this episode. We are, however, going to give them some foliage and make their habitat look a little bit nicer, because right now it looks pretty sad, and I don't want it to look so sad. So let's give them some terrain variation in here. I don't want them to have quite so many like mountains, but just something so that when you go down here, it's not like perfectly flat. Awesome. And then we'll add some rocks as well. And if we go ahead and get any of their foliage that they like, we are going to put a roof on this habitat. So I do have to be kind of careful with that, where I don't want to put anything that is going to be too tall that doesn't look like it can grow out through the top of the chain link roof. You know what I mean? So like even this, maybe, I guess we could just use it as like a bush. That might be okay. That might be okay if we kind of sink these down. I actually really love these trees. I wish they came in like a slightly smaller variation, but that's all right. What else can we add in here? I do want to add something like for the backdrop, because I want to keep these trees going around, because we are in an alpine, you know, area. So I want to keep it looking like it is. Let's bring this tree over here. You can sink down right behind here, give it a little bit of a backdrop. I like that. And then, oh, you know what I should focus on before I actually focus on decorating the habitat? Is I should focus on actually getting the stuff that the animal needs, because we are playing, what am I looking for? Arctic fox. There it is. Perfect, took me a minute. Oh good, we already have some stuff for it unlocked. So we'll give you a box. There, we'll give you this little skittle feeder thingy here. There, and then what about food? That's a food enrichment, okay, and that was a toy enrichment. Maybe a ball, little tennis ball. Oh, it's a red tennis ball. And then you got a box already. That should be good. So let's do food. Maybe we'll do the large food tray kind of over here. There we go, large food tray over there, and then, oh, they have water already, so we don't have to worry about that. So let's hit play and make sure these little guys are happy in their little environment. Social, wow, that really, space brings it down that much, then this is only gonna get worse when we add, yeah. So I think we will end up having to expand this, darn it, because I was trying to keep it like small and cute, but apparently not. Apparently they need a little more space than that, which I think is a bit unrealistic, because the Arctic fox habitats that I've seen in real life are actually much, much smaller than this. And they don't need quite that much space, but you know, that's okay. Let me grab just one of these rocks real quick. Bring this over here, because it always looks so plain without some rocks. So if we do like this kind of thing, we can give them a little bit of a rocky, like outcropping kind of thing to climb on here and there. Give it a little bit more interest, maybe one right next to their feeder and up like so. Yeah, I think that's looking fairly nice. Did I use, I think I did use in this one. Yes, I did. Okay, great. I love when I've already used the rock or the piece that I need, and then I can just grab it and duplicate it instead of having to go find it in the menu. Much nicer. So let's put a few of these down just because that looks nice, just for some variation. Little rocks in their habitat. Let's put this one maybe there and over here a little bit. Oh, you're going for a swim. I did leave it deep enough for you to swim. Perfect. Yeah, we just need to do the edges of this because it does need to be kind of plastered, you know, so it looks like a little pool, not just a hole in the ground with a plaster bottom. But cool, I didn't know that they would swim in it. Fantastic. Well, anyway, that is gonna be about it. Oh, no, I lied. Education, before we go. That'll be the last thing that we do before we go. And I need to actually just duplicate these because these are the ones that are working. So I want to put one right, oh, okay. Turn this around, put one right here, like so. And then we'll put one on the other side as well. And then we do need to get education for our exhibit animals as well, because I did kind of forget about them. So we'll position this on here like that. Perfect. And we'll change this to Arctic fox. Then we will take this one and rotate it 90 degrees. Bring it over here. Look at how many people. Arctic fox is really popular. Perfect. Bring it over here like so. Great. And then we do need a donation bin, which I'll just duplicate from over here. We'll put one right there, and we'll put one right here. Perfect. And maybe we'll put one in the middle of these guys as well, because we also need, not construction, facilities, we also need the education for these guys too, because I did forget. We'll do one right there, and we'll do one right here. And so we'll do this one is the snail, I think. Yeah, snail. And you are the fire salamander. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so now we should be good. Let's just double check on our little heat map here that it's all working beautifully. Great. Awesome. Okay, so we should not have as big of a problem. Whoops. Should not have as big of a problem as we did in Tolly Zoo with education, hopefully. But yeah, that is the start to our little zoo here, episode 2. I kind of want to put something right here because it looks a little empty to me. Maybe this tree? I really like these Ponderosa ones. These ones are my favorite. So maybe we do that one and not that one. There we go. Beautiful. We'll obviously cover these, make them look a little prettier. But yeah, you guys, that is going to be it for this episode. Let me know what you thought down in the comments below. If you are enjoying, leaving the video a like will go a long way. I'm going to pause this before I get too much going on, because we're going to deal with that in the next episode. Anyway, leaving a like does really go a long way, and I greatly do appreciate it. I'm gonna leave you guys here to look at our little Arctic fox for just a second, and yeah. So I will talk to you guys in the next episode. As always, thank you so much for watching. Next episode will be next Friday, hopefully, because Franchise Friday is what we are going for every single week. But until then, I hope you guys have a fabulous week, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye!